Living in Star, Idaho. Is this a place that you should consider moving to? Let's discuss this together in today's video. Hey friends, welcome back to the Living in Idaho channel. My name's Craig Flood. I'm a real estate agent here in Idaho. And if you're interested in everything there is about living in Idaho, moving to Idaho, relocating to Idaho, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I post a new video each week just for you as you're trying to discover if Idaho is going to be right for you. So today we're talking about Star, Idaho. We're going to look at the location. We're going to touch on schools and what options you have available there. We'll talk about the benefits of living there and maybe some of the struggles that you'll face if you move there. We'll touch on a bit of history and healthcare. Be sure to stick around to the end though, because we'll also be touching on some housing options. So if you're curious to see what you can get, whether it's in the $300,000 to $400,000 range or the $1 million+ range, I'll show you what is available to you. Star, Idaho is a very charming, small town. And also, as you can see from the shots, when I filmed out in Star, Idaho, it was kind of a gloomier day. The inversion was kind of happening, so it wasn't bright and sunny. And I like that because it lets you guys kind of see what Idaho is like right when it's kind of in that transition period. Again, if you decide to move here to Idaho, and specifically Star, Idaho, you're gonna get all 4 seasons, which might be different depending on where you're moving from. So getting back to it, Star used to be one of those really small towns, and it was like a big deal when they got their first light. And they had a single light for a really long time. Now they have a few in town. If any of you are from a small town, you kind of know that when you had stop signs and then all of a sudden your town bought a light, maybe they shouldn't have, maybe it was completely overkill and blew the budget, but that's the kind of town this is. So hopefully that kind of paints a picture. But as you'll see in this video, Star is definitely growing. It is just west of Eagle, Idaho. And so Star is interesting for that reason, because Star and Eagle are both up against the foothills. They're both right along the Boise River, but they're also very different. And when it comes to housing in Star, Idaho, you're gonna have options. You're gonna have brand new subdivisions that are gonna be great for first-time home buyers, all the way to really nice acreage properties either on the Boise River or up on the foothills with a view. People are drawn to Star because it's a really peaceful and kind of easygoing town. You're kind of separated from the hustle and bustle of things. And Star is the kind of place like when you go into a coffee shop, instead of hearing music like Taylor Swift, you're gonna hear things like Garth Brooks. And it's the kind of place that when you go to the post office, yeah, you'll see some cars and trucks, but you're also gonna see a side-by-side. And again, it's that really nice small town. You got a nice little library in town with some good options. And then you also have the Boise River, which is a big plus of Star. And so that's the kind of thing when you're driving home, you're gonna see guys, you know, they just got off work, they park their trucks, they hop in the river and go for a fish. Let's talk about the location of Star, Idaho. So again, Star, Idaho is on the northern side of the Treasure Valley, just west of Eagle, Idaho. It's butted up between the foothills and the Boise River. In addition to that, because you're right there, because you're close to Eagle, you have easy access up 55 to get up north if you want to maybe go up for a vacation or a weekend trip to McCall. But in general, that whole area, you just have really good access to kind of escaping the valley and getting out to some adventurous, beautiful places. In addition to that, you're really close to Black Canyon Reservoir, which is just gonna kind of be over the mountain range on the other side of Emmett. And the location of Star is interesting, you can kind of see here on the map. Again, you're bordered by some other major cities in the valley. Everything's growing and everything's starting to get closer and closer together. But for Star, Idaho, in terms of population, just so you know, it's right around 13,000. And just to give you guys a bearing of this, let's talk about drive times from Star to the other major cities in the valley. To Boise, Idaho, it's about 16 miles or 30 minutes. To Caldwell, Idaho, it's about 13 miles or 22 minutes. To Nampa, Idaho, it's about 10 miles and 19 minutes. To Meridian, Idaho, about 10 miles and 22 minutes. And to Eagle, Idaho, it's about 7 miles or 14 minutes. I just wanted to pause for a second. If you're looking to buy or sell here in Idaho, be sure to reach out to me and my team. Our contact information is in the description down below. Traffic in Star, Idaho. The traffic in Star, Idaho may get to you. Because you're sandwiched in between the foothills and the river and the way the valley is kind of developing, access and roads can be a little limited, and that's definitely gonna cause some congestion and bottlenecks. So Star is not a big town, and there's one main intersection in town. I'm gonna show it to you right now. So this is State Street right here, and then you got Star Road right to my right. And it's about 5 p.m. in the afternoon on a weekday. If you worked outside of town, this is the kind of traffic that you'd be looking at. So this traffic lines up all the way back there, and it goes all the way down State. And then once you head that way, things clear out a little bit. And if you decide to live in Star, Idaho, you'll probably find that you're often traveling east towards Meridian, Eagle, and Boise to get things. In terms of distances to maybe some major things that you might want to be close to, let's go over that. From Star, Idaho to the new Costco in Meridian, it's going to be about 10 minutes. From Star, Idaho to Walmart, that's going to be about 12 minutes. From Star, Idaho to Winco, that's going to be 14 minutes. And from Star, Idaho to the Boise airport, that's going to be about 30 minutes. And the last one I'll put on there is going to be Star, Idaho to the Village, which is Meridian's outdoor shopping mall. That's going to be 21 minutes. Schools in Star, Idaho. So here we go. We got Star Elementary School right behind me. The unique thing about Star is that they don't have a high school. And so if your kids go here, they can go to Star Elementary. And then depending on where you live, they could also go to Star Middle School. But then for high school, they're either going to go to Eagle High School or Owyhee High School. And if you want information about these schools, go ahead and check out niche.com. They have really great stuff about that. I'll be sure to link that in the description down below. What is the future of Star? Say you decide to move there, what can you expect? Well, the whole Treasure Valley is growing. Eagle's growing, Star is growing, all the towns around Star are growing, and so everything's getting bigger and bigger and they're coming closer and closer together. Even right now, there's a lot of construction happening in downtown Star, whether that's road construction, new commercial projects going up. They just got a brand new Albertsons in town. Again, Star was a small town and it's growing. It's great for people who want access to the outdoors, the foothills, the Boise River, who want a kind of quieter town to live in, something more affordable, and they want to be surrounded by more wide open spaces. Let's touch on the history of Star, Idaho. So Star, Idaho was established in the 1860s by pioneers and was a branch of the Oregon Trail. The town, Star, Idaho, was named after a star that was on the schoolhouse. And the interesting thing is that the star was kind of like a landmark. So for miles around, you could see that and you would head towards the star, and then that would get you access to a hotel, a place to stay, and amenities. And interestingly enough, Star became a city within Ada County in 1997. And back when it did become a city in Ada County, the population was right around 500 people. So you can see Star's had a huge trajectory in growth, largely because a lot of people want to move to Idaho, they want to move to the Boise area, and then they start to look for cities that they want to move into within the Treasure Valley, and Star becomes a very appealing option to them in light of everything else that they're looking at. One more interesting thing about Star in terms of its history, back in the early 1900s, Main Street in Star, Idaho was a racetrack. They would periodically use as a racetrack. So they had horse racing right down the middle of Main Street. Most all the town came out for it, and then typically after that, they would all go enjoy a baseball game. Now that we talked about some of the history, let's jump off that to the current day. One of the great things about Star is that it is a small community. They have an amazing 4th of July parade that just brings the town people out. So again, if you're somebody looking for that small town where you want to be known, Star, Idaho could offer you that. Let's touch on healthcare in Star, Idaho. And you might be thinking, if I move to Star, Idaho, what are my medical options? And I would say in the city of Star, you don't have much. Right behind me, we do have St. Alphonsus. This is going to be your urgent care in town, which is going to have 2 doctors and a nurse practitioner. So it's kind of urgent care / family practice. And again, with that, you can get things like x-rays or stitches. But for anything major, you're definitely going to be heading out of town to Eagle or one of the neighboring cities. Now let's talk about homes and real estate in Star, Idaho. Currently, the median sale price in Star, Idaho is $544,000. Now, obviously, there's options below that and above that. So let's go check out some houses. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you guys this area. Off to our left, we have a brand new splash pad that was put in directly kind of beneath us. You're seeing some concrete work being done, it looks like, and that is going to be where pickleball courts are. And then off to our right, it's the dog park. Now, if we jet over from that, just kind of west, I'm going to zoom in on a house right in this neighborhood because there is currently a house that's more on the affordable range for Star, Idaho that I want you guys to see. Now, say you wanted to live close to the dog park, the splash pad, and everything that's next door in this neighborhood right here, you could get this house for $449,990. So this is going to be a home by CBH Homes, and this is a 4-bedroom and 3-bath, right around 2,100 square feet. Another house that we have listed is right here at $589,900. So this house is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, right around 2,000 square feet, and it was built in 2016. Something unique about this house is that it was a Parade of Homes house, and it was built by Trident Homes. But maybe you're thinking, Craig, I want more land. I want to be a little further away from town. Well, great. Let's check out north of town where I am right now, and I'm going to show you some houses out in this area where you're going to get great views, some rolling hills, some larger lots, and some big, beautiful homes. One of the homes you'll find out here is right behind me, and it's currently listed for $1.5 million. So this home is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and 3,165 square feet. This home was built in 2016 and is sitting on 0.8 of an acre. It does have HOAs of $211 a month, but as you can see, it's in an amazing location with 180-degree views of the foothills. Now, I got some other shots I wanted to show you guys here so that you could just kind of see where this sits. This house is about 9 minutes outside of town, and it's up on the hill. And you can kind of see it's not a really aggressive hill. It kind of slopes away gently. And here you can kind of see what the other houses around this house look like in this neighborhood. I would love to know what you think of Star, Idaho. Is this a place you could live? Is it too rural? Is it not rural enough? Does it have the amenities you want? Does it not have the amenities you want? I'd be curious to know what you thought of the houses and if you think you could live in a place like this. If you're looking to move to Star, Idaho, or anywhere in Idaho, be sure to reach out. We have helped many just like you make that transition and make it smoothly. My contact information is down below. You can call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends. I'll see you guys in the next video.